I'm so giddy for this look because you know how I feel about using color, but look at this. How pretty is this lavender soft springtime look? We're a ways from spring, but as soon as I got this product, I was like, ooh, I need to use that. And if you've been with me for a while, you know how I feel about using color. It doesn't come easily to me at all, so when I pull off a look like this that I'm really happy with, it's soft and pretty, it's just a good day. If you want to skip the base portion and skip straight to the eye tutorial, here is the timestamp. I actually have a smooth blowout going today, so my hair is semi-behaving. Okay, starting with my base, I'm gonna use something new to me. This is by Ilia. It's called their True Skin Serum Foundation because, you know, I'm so olive. It's hard for me to find a shade that works for me, so I am mixing two shades. I'm going in with SF 175 Cozumel and SF 4.5. Cozumel is really nice and olive, but it's a little bit light for me. And I'm actually using a mixing plate to do this instead of the back of my hand like I usually do. So I'm gonna put a pump of that and then a pump of the more tan shade. So it's a nice and fluid foundation. See how that looks? Should be good. Maybe a little bit more of the tan shade. And I'm using this sponge by Kozas. And I'm just gonna start buffing that in. That's a pretty good match. I got requests to use more clean brands too, and Ilia is definitely one of them. And this is kind of a first impression for me with this foundation. Every base product I've tried from Ilia has always been really nice. So my first impression of this foundation is that it is very, very sheer. And since it is more sheer, I'm just gonna go in with the tan shade only. It is very healthy, the finish. It has that dewiness, light coverage. It's called True Skin Serum Foundation, and it really lives up to its name because it really just lets the skin come through. If you're into full beat kind of makeup, I probably would say stay away from this one. It's very much more for the natural minimalist girlies. So I definitely need a little contouring with this look. I still haven't found a proper contour product, so I'm still using my homemade one. Don't judge me, but it works great. You know, it has just the right tone that I need for contouring. I have it on my list to look for a proper contour. There's a couple that you guys recommended. I think I'm gonna look at one from, I think it's called She Glam. That looked pretty good. So with the same sponge, I'm just gonna go in and blend that out. I like the sponge, it's nice. I like the pointed tip especially. And again, with a sponge, you always want to start by stippling first in your contour area and then begin to blend it outward. All right, I think that's good. So now we can move on to a little bit of concealer. So for my concealer, I'm going to use something very brightening. This is by Milk. It's their Sunshine, what's it called? Sunshine Under Eye Tint and Brighten. The color that I'm using is 2. And this is, for my complexion, it really gives a nice brightening effect to the under eyes. So I'm just gonna add a little bit in there and a touch out here. Not too much, because a little bit really goes a long way with this product. And using the other side of the sponge here, especially because it has a pointed tip, I'm just gonna go in and blend this out and really brighten under my eyes. Again, just stippling and blending out. I think this is my new favorite sponge. I really like this thing. So that's all the concealing I'm gonna do, but of course I'm gonna set with a little bit of powder, my favorite. Ever since I discovered this Givenchy powder, I actually look forward to powdering down. Maybe it's the fact that it has the 4 different compartments with slightly different shades, but I don't know, something about it makes it really fun to use. So I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush to apply, and this is just gonna go right under my eyes, and then with whatever is left, kind of sweep it off into my laugh lines. Really focusing here in the inner part because I have that one crease that happens here. And now going into the blush, this is from Too Faced. It's their Cloud Crush blush. The color is called Candy Clouds. I discovered this at the end of the year last year. Really pretty color. It is a dupe for that more expensive Dior blush. You can see it has that perfect bubblegum pink. and it's buildable, and it actually kind of blurs out your skin. So I'm gonna load up my brush here, and I'm not gonna be afraid to kind of go for it with this one because that pink is really gonna complement the purple in the eyes. This is just a really pretty pink. And like I said, it's buildable. So I'm just gonna slowly build that on. And then one final step for this look, I feel like it would complement it really nicely, is something I used for date night the other night for the first time. I did a completely rose tone look on the eyes, on the lips, and then I used this highlighter from Givenchy. The color is also called Rose. And you know, I'm normally into more warm, bronzy, more gold highlights, but this is a very pearly highlight, you can see. Just gonna put that in these areas. And then with my finger, just blend that out. You can do it with a sponge too. But do you see what a pretty highlight that is? Look at that. It just gives such a subtle, pearlescent glow to the skin, especially if you're doing more cool tones like the blues, purples, pinks, anything like this. It's so nice. So just at the top of my cheekbones, right here at the arch of my brow, and a little bit into my brow bone. And all you have to do to blend it out is really just pat it into your skin the same way you would do your skincare. All right, that does it for the face. Very simple, lightweight base. We're gonna move on to the eyes. For the eyes, this is really the star of the show. When I got this product, this inspired this entire look. It's by Ilia. It is their liquid powder matte eye tint. It's this beautiful lavender color. And these are buildable colors. They're not super opaque at first until you build them. So this I'm just applying directly to my eyelid. It's really just like a paint. And then I'm gonna use a fluffy brush to start to blend it out. So like I said, at first it is not so opaque in case you wanted to, this brush is shedding, in case you wanted to keep it a little more sheer. So again, you can see it went on very lightly. I'm just gonna go with another layer. If it went on just like this, it would be so cool. But once we start to blend it out, it just kind of gets a little bit more sheer. But you can build this to your liking. The reason I like it being sheer is because it helps blend it out once you get up here. You don't want it to be really, really opaque, and then once you get up here, it's hard to blend it and make it look like a smooth transition out. So I'm just gonna continue building, and once it's on, it's on. So once it's blended up past my crease, I'm gonna concentrate more of it at my lash line where I can make it more opaque. And then I'm gonna take a little more product, and this is gonna go onto my bottom lash line as well. And just with my finger, I'm gonna blend that out a little bit. If you don't blend it with anything, with your finger or with a brush or anything, if you just did like a line like that, it's just gonna dry down exactly how you left it. So the first run, I'm gonna blend a little bit so it has a smooth transition to my complexion. But the second time around, I'm just going to add a little bit of color and leave it. So again, on the other side, I'm loading up the doe foot once more, and I'm gonna start by just smearing a bunch of this onto my lid, and then taking this brush and focusing on blending, making sure to blend it up past my crease so that we have that smooth blend, and then we get a very sheer wash of color that we're gonna build over. Again, adding some more and blending again. So each time you're blending upward, you're not going as far. So the first time we went up really high because we want to blend it up toward the brow bone. The second time, I'm not going quite as high. The third time, even less so, if that makes sense, because you don't want to build all the way up. You want only the first layer to go all the way to the top. The second layer doesn't go quite as high. The third layer stays around the crease. That's how I'm getting it to blend. So then again, going to the bottom lash line, we're adding this one line first, all the way across, and blending. That first layer you want to blend so it's a smooth transition, and then the second layer you're not going to blend because you want that opaque color to stay. Before I move on to the eyeliner, I'm gonna show you a little trick you can do in case you feel like your blend didn't turn out quite right. You feel like the lines are a little too obvious, they don't look very blended. We're gonna take any shimmer product. This one is by Dasique. I'm definitely not saying that right. Anyway, it's their Starlit Glitter Powder, and it's very shimmery. So I'm just taking this product with my finger, and I'm gonna start dabbing this at the center of my lid and using my clean finger to blend out. So this shimmer is going to kind of mask, and you can see I'm only applying it to the center and going up toward my brow bone. It's going to mask any lines, anything that wasn't completely blended in your cream eyeshadow. But it's such a pretty little finisher for this look. But just adding a little bit and then blending it out just gives it such a pretty sheen. So if you ever want to use glitter, but you feel like it's too much, it looks obnoxious, this is a great way to use a microfine glitter in a very conservative way. And then be sure to add a little bit right here to the very center of the lid. So when you're looking straight ahead, you see hints of it, but you really see it when you do this. So there you just have a little touch of glitter. It's not very much, but just enough to bring a little bit of more fun to this look, already fun look. Now for the liner. We're keeping everything in the plum, purple, lavender family. This is by Pixi. You know, I love their Endless Silky Eye Pen, and the color is Deep Plum. I went through a bunch of different purple eyeliners, and this one seemed to pair the best with this color, this lavender color. So I'm gonna have my smudge brush on deck as I build a little bit of a kitten flick on this look. Now I'm not taking the liner any further than the center of my eyelid. I don't want to take it all the way to the inner corner. So this I'm just blending upward and giving it a little smoky purple line. You want to try your best to blend that in with the Ilia product, but I think it's perfect for this look. I really want that light purple to stand out. I don't want it to get too smoky or anything. This line is really just meant to give it a little bit more definition. So we'll just add a slightly more defined flick out here, and I think that's all we're gonna do. I like that. I don't want to go any further than that. Like I said, I want that purple to remain the star of the show. So again, wrong side. Apply the pencil very close to your lash line, create the flick, and don't apply it past this middle part of your eyelid. And then quickly take your smudge brush and start blending that in for a more smoky line. I love how this turned out. I'm just gonna stop here. I don't wanna go further and ruin it because I really wanted to keep everything just soft. I completely forgot about lashes. I just was so focused on the color, I was about to skip mascara. So I'm gonna take my YSL Lash Clash and work this through my lashes. Focusing most of this on the outer corner. And just a touch at the bottom, because again, I don't want to obscure that purple. And of course, a little brow action. I have to set these brows. I'm gonna use my fave by Dominique Cosmetics, the Brow Blowout. This is just going to kind of fatten up my brows a little bit and set them. I like them to look nice and thick. This is my favorite formula brow gel that I've discovered. It's so, so good. Now for the lips, I'm sticking to more of a pinky tone to go with the rest of the look. This is by Buxom, these two. The Power line is one of my favorites. High Def Honey is one that I use all the time. This shade is called Hush Hush Henna, and I'm gonna use this to just line my lips a little bit. And I'm going to smudge it out so it's not so sharp. So it's just really giving my lips a little more of a pinky base. This lip gloss is perfect for this look. It is called Samantha. It's one of their full-on plumping lip polishes. Their lip glosses are always super high shine. And I kind of use the applicator to also blend with the liner. And that's it for this look. I am so proud of myself. If you're new to my channel, I always shy away from using color, but when I do it successfully and it turns out well, it looks good, I'm just very happy. I hope you loved this look as much as I did. If you have any questions about any of the products, leave them down in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one.